Brilliant Primal Scream and Rocks on BBC Radio Kent with me, Erica North, in for Dominic King this evening. And I had to play that because it's the perfect song to introduce my next guest. She was my first guest of this evening's show. I spoke to her just after 6 o'clock. And without a doubt, I'm sure many people would have just said the word, "Oh," when they listened to Lucy first time around. So I thought we deserved to revisit that and play it again. Because Lucy is a very talented, very generous, very kind young lady. She's not even 10 years old yet. And since the pandemic's hit, we talk about making a difference so much on BBC Radio Kent. That's what this little girl has been trying to do. But she's very creative, she's very arty, and she decided to create a little bit of a special treasure hunt, if you will. That's the best way I can describe it, for children in the Medway towns, for adults in the Medway towns, for anyone in Kent who wants to come along and join in, by painting little pebbles and scattering them around the towns that are near to where she lives in Rochester. Now, it's Rochester High Street that's going to benefit in particular this Saturday afternoon, we hope. It's going to be a very special event where these rocks, as I say, are placed all around the town, beautifully hand-painted by Lucy, with a little bit of help from her mum as well, who I spoke to. Of course, the first question I had to ask Lucy is, when exactly is this going to be happening if people want to join in?
It's going to be on Saturday, the 7th of August.
OK, and how many of these little rocks have you painted?
Don't know.
How old are you, Lucy? I think people are going to be wondering when they hear your voice, because they're clearly going to hear me talking about you and they're going to think, well, if she's that accomplished an artist, she must be at least 20 or 30 years old. How old are you, Lucy?
Well, my birthday was on Sunday the 25th of July, and so I'm 7.
7 years old. Wow. And you've painted so many of these rocks.
Yeah.
I can hear that little smile in your voice there. I think secretly you should be very, very proud of yourself. Now, Saturday, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is kind of painting your rocks on a bigger scale than I've ever heard of you doing, because you're focusing on Rochester, aren't you?
Yeah.
And that's your local area?
Yeah.
And you've put lots of these rocks around, or you're going to put lots of these rocks around on the high street for people to find while they're shopping. Is that right?
Yeah. All over Rochester.
OK, and what are the subjects on the rocks? What have you painted on them? Because I've seen a few of them, and these, I think, are your best.
Well, we've done lots in Rochester.
You've painted
Harry
a few of the
Potter.
shop fronts, haven't you? You've done the shops, haven't you?
Yeah. Some Harry Potter, Toy Story, The Lion King, Fortnite, Mario, Pokemon.
Wow.
Mandalay.
Wow. So when and where are you going to hide all these rocks? Because that sounds like a job in itself, with so many little rocks to hide.
I don't know. Saturday.
On Saturday, you're going to put them out on Saturday, are you, in the morning?
Yeah.
We're going to get up nice and early in the morning on Saturday, aren't we?
Yeah.
And put them all around Rochester for people to find.
Wow. And how can people, if they want a few tips about where they can maybe start looking for your rocks, you're even going to make it a little bit easier for people, aren't you? Where can they see a map?
We are. So we're not going to have a map as such. If people go to our Facebook page, which is Just the Three of Us UK, on Saturday morning, once we've placed them all, we will be posting coordinates, which is really straightforward. You literally just copy and paste it into Google Maps, and that will bring up a pinpoint. So that could be a street, it could be a shop on a street, or it could be a park. And then we will say, this is the coordinates, the rocks will be within 50 metres or 100 metres. So it will just give people a rough idea of a location in Rochester. And then from there, it's up to them to go hunting. And it's not just going to be rocks. We've got some sweets and sort of stationary bits to put out as well. So it's a rocking treasure hunt, a bit of everything. And, yeah, just something free for the family to come and enjoy.
I think this is a lovely idea. And I should just explain to everybody listening, the reason Lucy just aged by just a couple of years there, halfway through that conversation, is because I'm guessing Mum Nikki stepped in. I know you've helped Lucy paint all these beautiful rocks. And between the two of you, you are an exceptionally creative family, an exceptionally creative couple of young ladies. Whose idea was it, Nikki, to paint these rocks? Was it Lucy's idea, or was it you holding her hand and giving her a nudge? Be honest.
I think it was a family effort. We did the Easter egg hunt at Easter, which people loved, and that worked in exactly the same way with the coordinates and the areas. And we just wanted to do something else over the summer holidays. I know things have picked up a bit more now, but a couple of months ago when we first had this in mind, there wasn't a lot going on for children, and certainly not for free as well. So, it doesn't cost us a lot. It's time more than money for us, but we love doing something, so we just thought, let's do that. Do some rocks and make a big thing out of it, because, as you know, we usually just place a couple rounds, over a weekend or something, but we thought, let's do this on a bigger scale, make a big thing out of it, and then people can come out and enjoy themselves over the summer holidays.
It's a lovely idea. And I know your rock spreading has I know we were mentioning the Medway Towns, of course, because that's where you're based. And in Saturday, this special event that you've got happening. But you have spread your rocks as far afield as Whitstable. And you once, because I found one of your rocks and I followed you on social media and I reached out to you. And you sent me a photo of a rock that was, well, I say just down the road from me. It was a few miles away, but certainly much closer than Rochester. And I got in my car and went to find it and I couldn't because someone had already got there before me.
Yeah, we do tend to, if we've got some painted and ready to go, we do tend to take them out. If we go for a day out somewhere, we've sent some up to Birmingham with the in-laws before, and people help them travel as well. If someone finds them, they often send us a message and say, I'm going to take it down to Cornwall next week, and things like that. Lovely.
That's
I think
brilliant.
We've done some at Disneyland Paris before, haven't we?
No.
I think we have. Yeah, I think
it's even spread to Disneyland. That's absolutely brilliant. You're international, Lucy.
Yeah.
Is there no end to your talents? I think these could spread around the world. It's a wonderful idea. What sort of feedback have you had from people reaching out to you? Because I imagine once people have picked up and realised they've found a beautiful, beautiful decorated stone, they are so unique. And I think, this weekend, I genuinely think you have absolutely excelled yourselves. They are stunning, the ones that you let me see on social media. I'm really touched, and I thank you, Nikki and Lucy, for letting me have a sneak peek, because I think they're absolutely beautiful. But what sort of reactions do you have from people when they found them? And they do, as I did. I reached out on social media. I put the little address on the back of the stone into my search engine, and I tracked you down. What have you had people say to you about your pebbles they've found already?
You'd be surprised at the amount that we never see again. We can go out and put about 20 rocks out, and I think only about 3 will get in contact and say that they found it. And we go back and we can see that it's been found and you never see it again, which is a shame. But, as long as it brings someone a bit of joy on that day, they can do what they want with it. We enjoyed painting them. But, yeah, people do generally really like them, particularly the shop ones that we did that are going to go out on Saturday. We've done a handful of the shops on Rochester High Street, which, as you see, are very detailed and take absolutely hours to do. But they've got a lot of attention, and I've had a couple of people ask me to do rocks for them and things, which has been really lovely. That's nice feedback in itself, to have people ask to do them.
Well, I can only think that if one of these shops are your establishments, what a lovely thing to give to your other half as a Christmas present or a birthday present, or just a just because present, because it's so simple in its design, but so thoughtful and so crafty. And I really do think if Lucy is the artist, Lucy, I'm crediting you. You are a very skilled young lady. I think your rocks are going to go far.
I'm afraid I'm going to take the credit for the shop ones.
You're allowed to, Nikki. Is that Lucy in the background disagreeing?
Pardon?
I said, is that Lucy in the background disagreeing and saying that no, she's done them?
I think she's changed the subject about another rock. What did you say?
Well, once we hid one outside my ballet class, and someone from ballet found it and took it somewhere very far away.
Did they? Where did they take it? Can you remember?
I can't remember.
I can't remember. Maybe it might have been Norfolk, maybe? I can't remember. Somewhere far away on a holiday.
Wow. And did they leave it there for somebody else to find?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, you really are making a difference to so many people who are going to be smiling when they find your rocks, Lucy and Nikki. And as I say, I think you're both very, very skilled. And is there a nicer way to spread the love as we come out of lockdown than a little treasure hunt like this with all these painted pebbles and rocks that people are going to be finding around Rochester and the Medway towns? I hope for weeks to come, because they really are a thing of beauty, and you're very, very skilled and talented. And Lucy, I can't thank you enough for being on the radio with me tonight. So will you thank your mum, Nikki, there as well?
Thank you.
Thank you. You're very welcome, Lucy. And you will come back on the radio and speak to me again, won't you?
Yes.
You heard it here first. She's going to be a regular guest on BBC Radio Kent if I have anything to do about it. And I was just saying to my producer, I hope you're still listening, Lucy, because we just agreed what a poised young lady you are for 7 years old. And talk about making a difference and putting a smile on so many people's faces. You just made a lot more people smile tonight by being with me on BBC Radio Kent. Thank you.